Hello class, Mr. Garino here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a sound effect to your PowerPoint slideshow. There's two ways to do it, and two different formats to do that with. At least that's what I'd like to show you. So if you go to a website called soundbible.com, you can search for sound effects. So I'm going to search for, actually I'm not going to search, I'm going to click this, beat sounds. And you'll see here shorebirds talking on the beach. Okay, I like that. I'm going to click this. And for this one, I'm going to download the WAV file. So I'm going to say right click, save link as, and it says shorebirds talking. So I'm going to save that. And of course, I'm in the right folder. And then I'm going to search for bubbles. And this one is the one I want. I found it before, so I click this link. Pause that. And instead of WAV file, I'm going to choose MP3. Oops. The right click, save link as. Actually, you know what? For this one, I'm going to choose both. An MP3 and a WAV file. And so I'm saving it to the same place. And I did that before, so I probably got two of them in that folder now. Alright, but let's go down to PowerPoint. And I could put a sound effect on the transition. So if I go to transitions, I'm on fade. Over here it says sound. There's some built-in sounds that come with PowerPoint. This one up here that says fish tank bubbles, that's only there because I've used it before in this slideshow. You won't see that. To get something, custom one that you've downloaded, you have to go to other sound, and the only file type that it recognizes is a WAV file. So those MP3s that I downloaded aren't showing up here. So I'm going to put shorebirds talking on the beach and say OK. And I don't even know how to make it stop right now. Okay, so it's duration 0.7, I guess. Oh, that's the length of the transition. So I don't really know how long this is going to last with the shorebirds. Let's see when we look at our slideshow. Now I think if I click through that more quickly, that sound effect will end when I get to the next slide. So let me click fast. Nope. So that sound effect keeps playing. So I don't really like that way of doing it because I don't know that you get that much control over it. So you can loop until next sound. I don't know. I don't really like this way. And the same thing goes for making bubbles happen when this thing goes down. So if I go here and I right click on this and say effect options, I can go to where it says sound here, click that drop down, choose one of the ones on the list. The shorebirds and fish tank bubbles are only there because I've done it before. Otherwise you got all these stupid built-in ones from Microsoft. So I go to other sound and I choose this fish tank bubbles. Again, it has to be a WAV file, WAV sound, and they're basically pretty big file types. MP3s are so much smaller. I don't know why Microsoft doesn't use them or allow for them to be used, but this is what they've done. So let me click this, say OK. And it kind of goes for a long time. So let me play this and see how it works. I thought the bubbles were kind of loud there. At least the bird song did stop when the bubbles came out. But you can see it's kind of getting a little busy there. So let me go here and go to effect options. I thought the bubbles were kind of loud. So I'm going to drag it all the way to the bottom and see what happens. So obviously all the way to the bottom is no volume at all. Kind of makes sense. But this dragger thing here is kind of hard. I wish I could, like even when I use the arrows on my keyboard, it jumps. So I want it at the bottom, but just a little bit above, because it's like too loud, my bubbles, and watch what happens. I don't think I can really adjust it very well there. To me, that's still too loud. So my point is, I don't really like doing it that way. So I'm going to take this sound off. I'm going to go back to no sound and say OK. So if I want the sound on this animation, I can do it the same way I did my song. I can go to Insert, Audio, Audio from File, and notice I've done this a few times. So I'm going to choose this Fish Tank Bubbles MP3 and say Insert. And now I get an icon just like I had before. One's on top of another, so let me move it over there. I have this trigger thing which I don't want, so I'm going to go to Effect Options, Timing, take off the trigger. While this is selected, I go to Playback. I'm going to hide it during the show. I'm not going to choose play across slides because I only want it to play on this one slide. So automatically means it plays until the slide ends. I can do the trimming and the fading and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing I can do is the volume, which is what I really wanted to do. And last thing over here is it needs for me to click on it. I don't want to have to click on it. I want it to play with the sinking down of Cancun. So I'm going to right click and say start with previous. So now let's look at it. You notice that time the bird sound doesn't stop when the bubbles come out because it's not another sound on an animation, it's a separate audio file, so it works a little differently. So I'm showing you these ways to do it so that you can find the way you want to do it works best for you. One thing I find nice here is with this chosen and you go to playback, when I say low on the volume, you'll see that it really makes quite a bit of difference as compared to adding it to the animation over here as before, which I said I didn't really like because no matter how much I dragged that thing down, I couldn't get the volume to really go low. Now watch how much lower it is. So it's there, but it's subtle. It's not like over blaring where it just like, takes over the song and all that. So the bird sound was still there, kept going. That was kind of mild. So you play around with this stuff. See what you like, see what you can get to work. Make sure you use a sound effect somewhere to add a little pizzazz to your slideshow. Don't get carried away with them. They can get busy and after a little while become a little bit annoying. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 of them, something like that. Whatever you feel is best. Don't get carried away, but make sure you have at least one. Thank you.